host wine scene,
like
and award-winning food entrepreneur.
I know a lot of you wondering what to do with your moon pies. So I've got some wine suggestions for you. Lemon moon pies, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, or Pinot Grigio.
Stuart Reb Donald,
That's
acclaimed
me.
food and travel writer and world-class chef.
I was chef de casserole. I made the casseroles in the frozen food
I
department.
use that every now and then.
For more than a decade, they've combined their expertise to answer your questions and introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you want or ought to know. Four-time Taste Award finalists, 12-time Nephew Award losers. They are the dynamic duo of dining. Drop, keep screaming for more. Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
We need our own comic book. We're the dynamic duo. And we are. I want a wrestling belt. Good morning, Stu. How are you doing on this beautiful Sunday morning of the Sip and Chew show with Mike and Stu? That's me. That's you.
Yeah. What it do, Stu?
So, how's your week, buddy?
Pretty good. Fought a little cold, but
I'm
mostly over it. Just every now and then, I got to clear my throat 30 or
Okay.
40,000 times.
Yeah, I got out in the weather yesterday. Went to the
Brunch fest.
brunch fest at,
Yeah.
in Cathedral Square. Saw a lot of friends of mine, some I hadn't seen in a long time, and we had a great time. And it was beautiful. But I kept feeling, the acorns everywhere,
Mm.
and so it's got to be putting some kind of pollen off or something.
Oh well, you got ragweed right
Yeah,
now.
ragweed, and I could feel it last night and this morning when I woke up, and I started to call in sick, but then I got up, took a hot shower, and I feel a lot better now.
Sobered up, huh?
No, I didn't say. I did go to
Sobered up your snot locker.
I did go to bed at 1:30 because of the game. It was just too exciting to go to sleep. So,
Yeah. Yeah, what's it like to enjoy college football? Because it's been about 5 years. For me. I mean, genuinely, I haven't really enjoyed it since 2019.
what y'all stays coming again?
Well, yeah, probably about another 5 or 10 years.
Well, let's see. I heard that Gruden's probably like to get back into college football. I thought y'all were going to get Lane Kiffin.
But we didn't.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool though. I was looking at pictures of friends of mine that were at the Bama Georgia game and the tailgating pictures. And man, I had some of my friends that were tailgating. They had some really. One guy, he had been up since 3:30 with his smoker there on the big field there.
Getting that brisket done.
Yeah, actually just pulled pork, but I saw some pictures of brisket, and that's a great feeling and it's a great experience to go to when they're on the quad or whatever. And
Any college game.
And I still want to go. I still want to go to an Ole Miss game, and I want to walk through there.
I've been. It's awesome.
Yeah, Brandon used to go, and you get the mint juleps and all
Bull peanuts.
and the pulled peanuts.
And everybody's wearing tuxedos and ball gowns with tennis shoes because the ground's always muddy.
Yeah.
They've got fold-up tables, and folding chairs with 100-year-old linen tablecloths on it and 150-year-old
They
silverware.
belong to their great
And chandeliers hanging from the tent.
Isn't that cool?
It is really a neat experience.
It
I will
is.
give
Oh,
all
yeah.
this. It's the best tailgating experience in the country, according to experts. I have been to a number of different stadiums on different levels of college. It's the best that I've ever seen.
Well, I've been invited to go up to an Auburn game,
Also a great experience.
and my friend Ed Miller,
Mhm.
he does the Auburn commercial.
Right.
with it's got Tim Cook in it, and
Mhm.
a bunch of alumni from Auburn. That was his commercial he put together, and we had lunch last Sunday together. But he's invited me to come up, if nothing else, for the tailgate experience.
Yeah, and go by the Raptor Center, man,
Mhm.
and watch them work with a lot of people that don't know about the whole eagle soaring thing. Just think that they caught an eagle in captivity. The Cal fans were giving us all kinds of stuff, saying, "Can't believe you went and captured an eagle just to fly around your stadium." We're like, no, actually, Auburn has the preeminent Raptor Recovery Center.
Yeah.
And that's where they come from. And when they are finally healthy enough, we release them back into the
Yeah.
wild. But sometimes it takes years.
I went to every time when I was in the wine business, I'd go to Atlanta a lot, and I didn't. If I didn't do it on the way up, I did it on the way back.
Right.
I always pulled over in Auburn and went to the Raptor cage in front of the stadium. It just sat there in awe. But when I was a Boy Scout, I used to do volunteer work out at the Environmental Protection Center.
Right.
And they had
Greenlight?
not
Greenlight.
Derby.
Yeah, I knew it started with a G.
Right. And they had a big enclosure too of the eagles.
Right.
And some of them had no wing. Some of them had no wings, and there was one always one that missing at least one wing, or a talon was gone or something because they got caught in a cage or something.
Or something hit by it.
Yeah. And I'd go in there and collect.
Or, honestly, windmills.
Yeah.
These wind turbines. Kill hundreds of endangered raptors
and
daily.
Yeah. And by the way, it's against the law to kill those things.
Yeah.
I would go in there and collect the feathers,
Mm.
and then turn them over to the
Scouts.
To the center.
Oh, okay.
But this was cage, and clean it up, straighten it up, and make sure all the
Depoop
yeah, and make sure the little big limb, nothing in there to harm them. But yeah, you have to pick those feathers up and hand them to the environmental center, and they forward them for wherever they're going to forward them.
I think there is a bit of a black market for that kind of stuff too. So possession of them may be something that'll get you fined by the federal government.
Oh yeah, it will.
Yeah. Well, the tailgating scene is part of what makes college football special. Nobody else. I mean, there are a few pro stadiums where you can get into it. Oddly enough, New Orleans is not one of them because the whole Superdome thing, there's just no tailgating. But like Buffalo, known for their tailgating.
Yeah.
Chicago, I think, still is able.
They're out. They're out of
Grand Bay. Or Green Bay, sorry.
Grand Bay. Yeah, Grand Bay's known for their tailgating.
But college tailgating. The University of Washington and the University of Tennessee both have a similar tradition, oddly enough, and that's people go to the stadium by boat.
Yeah.
And because Washington Stadium is right on the Puget Sound, and then Neyland Stadium is right on the Tennessee River.
Right.
And they will come and do what's called rafting, where the boats park next to each other and tie off to one another. So, and in Knoxville, they'll have up to 200 boats rafted together outside the stadium. And if you're in boat number 200 to get to land, you got 99 boats to cross over into, which is cool because each one you step into, they're like, you want a beer? You want a drink? Michael, you want a mudslide? How about a burger? Got hot dogs, got barbecue, and it's like that all the way till you get to shore. And that's the thing that makes college football special.
Great. It makes it great.
That stuff will never go anywhere unless we allow it to. NIL won't kill that. Transfer portal won't kill that. Playoffs won't kill that. That will always be there.
Well, tailgating is half the experience.
It really is.
I know people who just go to set up a tent and cook all day long.
Well, we see it.
And they don't even have tickets to the game. They just go sit out there, but they got a big flat screen TV set up.
Yeah.
And almost every one of them does with their little generators. And you just the smell of food in the air is just incredible.
Southern Miss has really good tailgating. The barbecue smell is outstanding. Vanderbilt does not have good tailgating because it's right in the middle of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
There's no. We tried to tailgate one time. We were at the end of the cul-de-sac, and I had a disposable grill in the trunk of my car.
I wonder if Miami, because Miami's scattered all over Miami. University of Miami scattered all over Miami.
Well, the stadium's the only thing you have to worry about. But you talking about Miami in Florida or the real Miami in Ohio?
Miami in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Because
the other one.
The university's like scattered.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Oh, Oklahoma, by the way. I tailgated there before the Alabama game. And their whole thing was fajitas, man. There was fajitas as far as the eye could see, chicken and beef, with hundreds of things to put in the tortilla.
Wow. That'd be great.
It was.
I hadn't been in a while. Need to get on it.
Now, the Cotton Bowl, when I went to the Red River Rivalry, there was no tailgating per se, but you got street vendors set up because you're at the state fair. So that's its whole own environment.
Right. 251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and texting line.
We need more words to that.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
For more than 50 years, Mobile Bay Magazine has showcased the history, style,
I
art,
saw
and
Ruben
entertainment that defines excellence on
Ruben, I
both
saw
sides of
Armando
Mobile Bay. Each
in
month's issue
Orlando
is filled
the
with
other
our
day in
unique
front of the
Southern
new
Alabama culture,
Taqueria
beautifully
downtown.
captured and told through engaging articles and stunning photography.
I
When you
was walking
subscribe
last
to
night
Mobile Bay
here
Magazine,
Tuesday,
you'll
and I
be
walked
swept
by
into the
and saw
pages
them
where
there. I
recipes,
bet they're already working
places,
on
and
like crazy.
faces
They got a
and
full crew in
untold
there.
stories abound. Start your journey today by visiting mobilebaymag.com. That's mobilebaymag.com.
It's gonna be cool.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please
I
call
think
this
that,
toll-free
I
number
know, I
right
think
now.
that's gonna be for Los Rancheros. I think that's gonna be
800-410-4036. That's
another Whipping Taqueria.
800-410-4036. Calling your
But
addiction
I don't
team.
know if they're
You're
gonna
taking
call
the
this
first steps
Los
to
Rancheros
recovery.
here.
Don't fight addiction
To the
alone. Their
location.
advisors are ready to take your call. Your future is still a bright place. The help you need could be one call away. 800-410-4036.
Saw a bunch of people
That's
complaining about the new lack of food places opening up.
800-410-4036. This call is completely
I was thinking, well, if
confidential.
they're
And if
authentic,
you're
they're all
private
gonna be
insurance, there could be little
I
to
mean,
no cost to
Roosters
you.
and,
Even if you've already
what was
been
the other one that
treated,
was down
give
there
us a
that
call.
was
There is no need to let
same
addiction
people that
ruin
did Chuck's
your
Fish
life. Take the
House?
first
Oh, yeah.
step now.
Okay.
Call
Yeah,
your
okay.
addiction team
They were
at
totally different.
800-410-4036.
Their food tasted different.
That's
It looked different.
800-410-4036.
Both of them were
Make the
delicious.
free call now.
Best meal I had
800-410-4036. Your
El
addiction team is a
Paso,
third-party
Del
advertiser
Mar
for various
Ross,
treatment
they
centers
did
and
the
placement
bowls.
networks. Individual results will vary. Visit
Under the
youraddictionteam.com
stress and pressure
/treatments
of
for more
margin,
information.
people
Your
lined up out
service
the
to our
door.
great nation and your community
Great
doesn't
job.
end when your military career does.
It's
You've
normal
served
business.
us, now let us serve you. Visit
Yeah.
va.alabama.gov to learn more about
Overpriced.
programs and
Well,
benefits
the price
from
was,
the
but
Alabama
that's what it
Department of
costs.
Veterans
Mobile
Affairs
just wasn't
to
really,
ensure that you are
wasn't
at your
willing to pay
strongest
for
and
quality.
best.
I mean,
Again, that's
Overpriced.
va.alabama spelled out .gov.
Oh,
Sponsored
no,
by
it
the
was
Alabama
amazing. It was
Department
on
of
par
Veterans
with Roosters.
Affairs,
It was just
the
different.
Alabama
They were
Broadcasters
smaller.
Association, and this station.
That was the thing, you know, Roosters tacos, the
The
tortillas that
margaritas,
big.
the margaritas
to buy
were
your
smaller.
products, services, or ideas. Imagine
Yeah,
being
makes
handed a
sense.
microphone to speak in front of a stadium of 30,000 people. What would you say about your business? FM Talk 1065 can put you in front of that audience. This is Celeste Holland. Together, we can
Bacon,
create
yeah,
an
that's
effective
bacon.
advertising campaign. Our listeners are eager for
Turkey
information.
I don't
Trust
need-
our station
I
and
shouldn't
prefer to
be,
patronize local
No,
businesses
not with my
like yours.
cholesterol.
Call me at
No one should eat bacon
415-7249. And let's talk about how FM Talk
Ever.
1065 can help
But
you.
it is not all the time. Maybe.
But
If you
and that's the combination of bacon, sausage, and ham. I mean, that's too much.
That really good fishermen
I
and
love
hunters
those,
know.
but I
That's
hate
why
it.
sportsman and writer, editor, and photographer
Well, I'd
John
much rather
Felcher
sausage.
is sharing his
Bacon's
knowledge
number
gathered from
three.
a lifetime of learning what works
And I've
what
decided the
doesn't.
people that like
Listen to the
floppy
Outdoor
bacon
Tips
need to
Daily
stop
on
lying to
FM
themselves. Just
1065.
be, hey,
You may
this is
become
what
more
it tastes
successful fishing
and that's
and
what they're
hunting.
getting.
Outdoor
Yeah.
Tips with John Felcher on FM Talk 1065.
I got a wine station.
They are the dynamic duo of dining. Sip and chew with Mike and Stu. Call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
I'm not today because I did yesterday.
Yeah.
But if I was today, I would do it.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you
that
for
would-
being clear and concise with your feelings.
And that would be, it's a beautiful day to go outside and eat outside.
Yep.
And it would.
Where would you do that though?
I would do it at Bob's, but I did that yesterday.
Bob's.
Bob's Downtown Diner. on
Oh
Fat
yeah,
Man.
yeah.
But I did it yesterday, so I won't be doing it today.
Yeah. You pre-gamed yesterday.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, pre because
Yeah.
I went to the brunch fest.
Yeah.
But yes.
You pre-gamed the brunch fest.
Yeah. Pre-gamed the brunch
You're like,
fest.
I'm going to the brunch fest, so just give me one Bloody Mary and some
How'd you
waffles. Because it's morning time.
They don't have waffles.
Yeah.
But anywho, but yes, Bob's Downtown Diner, corner Fat and Happy. Saw Tony yesterday. He even gave me a ride.
Yeah.
He even gave me a ride over there. So not that I
In
needed
the
it.
Bob's mobile.
Yeah, in a 6-seater.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
The
by the way,
sexy 6-seater.
yes. And it made it look even sexier for us.
Yeah.
But but
Okay.
if you want to have food delivered, they can do that. They deliver food downtown now.
Yeah.
In that sexy Bob
Sexy 6-seater.
So anyway, yeah, and also we want to thank Bob's by the way.
But how did you get into the Brunch Fest?
I had a friend who has some pull, and she has some tickets.
Yeah. and what pull would that be?
She had some extra passes for her participation in the Brunch Fest.
So she was representing her company?
She was representing
what
her
company is that?
It was Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats.
Perfect for a Brunch Fest, wouldn't you say?
Yes. And I don't know how many people, but they gave us a little chip, like bingo chips that you mark your card with, and that's how we voted. And she got my vote because I got her.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which, let that be a lesson, folks. Mike can be bought.
Oh.
And at a low price.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not bought, but he can be leased or leased to own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Find them in your stores in Baldwin County now. If they don't see them, ask for them by name. And Rouse's will actually, if you tell Rouse's you would like to have it in their store, they will actually order for you. That's what I like about Rouse's. They will actually go through. They know how to get a hold of people.
Yeah.
They know who.
I know who to holler at.
That's it. Who to holler at. And we want to thank Butch Cassidy's over there on Florida Street. Saw Roy early this week, and saw him on TV too.
Yeah.
Doing the, I saw you.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
You made a guest appearance
Yeah.
on that TV bit they did.
I was whopper flopping.
There you go. So he was flipping.
Yep.
Flipping. So it was. I loved it. It was a great series they did on Butch Cassidy's. So, but get out there and support those three folks. So,
Folks.
So
Too bad Po Folks isn't around, and they could be a sponsor too.
I worked at Po Folks.
You know what my
I was a
deal was
teenager.
with Po Folks? We went there once or twice and never went back. It didn't matter what you ordered; every single thing tasted the same. I got fried shrimp.
Mhm.
My mother got fried chicken livers, and with your eyes closed, you could not tell the difference. And we assumed they were just sitting back there with dough with food-shaped stamps and just cutting it out like that. It was, I mean, people used to rave, and we're just like, this is not bad, but it's not good either. Just because it's all you can eat does not make it something to go.
When I was in high school, I worked there in the kitchen, and I was always on the flat grill because that's where we cooked the eggs at. Flat. We didn't have a skillet like at IHOP.
Right.
And we used a flat grill, and I had to flip. So the guy came into IHOP when I was in high school, and he said, "Man, you got pretty eggs. You do a great job with your eggs. More job." And
You got poached.
And anyway, I didn't enjoy it, so I went back to IHOP.
Okay.
I was at the one at the Loop, which has been 100 different things since then.
Yeah.
But and Sammy Davis Jr. was one of the owners of that.
Yeah.
So, anywho.
Well, I got a
little
wide
trivia
question for you, sir.
Yeah.
We're at the time of year now where people are having campfires, bonfires, and sitting outside in the evening, a little bit Christmas in the air. What kind of wine do you recommend for a fireside chat?
Oh, if I was going to do it, like the first little drop of leaf on the ground,
In 6 weeks.
I'd pull out sparkling.
I'd
get some sparkling or Pinot Noir. Because it's kind of, some of them do have a little smoky tendency to them of taste, and on the nose, a little smoke. I've actually smelled some wines I've had when you put your nose down in the glass and smell, it smells like fried bacon. Believe it or not. Those are all things, characteristics that bring out life's experiences and things you tasted before, you smelled before, like dirt. Growing up, when you're a kid, you get your face rubbed in the dirt a lot, and so when you understand what earthy is when you taste that in a glass of wine. But I would do sparkling, and I would do what you got there.
64 best recipes for a cozy family meal.
There you go.
I live alone.
So, but the number one there.
Chili
but
mac
you're,
and cheese.
but you're a family of two at least.
I got 3. I got 2 dogs.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, a Pinot light. I would do it with a light Pinot Noir, like from the Russian River Valley, and or sparkling. And sparkling would be California, or it could be from France, whether it be champagne or not.
Right.
Just sparkling. New Mexico makes wonderful sparkling
Yeah,
wines.
what was it? Starts with a G, doesn't it? Gruet.
Gruet.
Okay. Yeah, that is a spectacular.
It is. They do a great job, and they own a winery in France too. So.
Mhm. Yeah, well, they transported vines over from their original vineyard in the Champagne region.
Look at there.
Oh,
Apple cider margarita.
that would be good fireside.
Mhm.
What about cocktails? What would you think? Cinnamon, I gotta think cinnamon is going to be a strong component in it, but not pumpkin spice.
And it would be a bourbon or whiskey.
Yeah, like that, like that apple cider
Mm-hmm.
would probably have a little cinnamon in it,
That's
or just what is it? Get a good apple cider that you like, and drop a shot of Fireball in it. It's actually quite delicious because it's cinnamon. And you're putting it with the apple. Basically, it tastes like an apple pie.
The first time I ever had Fireball, the liquid / spice liquor shop, they were at the chili cook-off, and they had these big tea urns set up. And
was it warm?
Huh?
Was it warm?
But the weather was wet and cold outside.
No, I mean,
but the tea. No, it was regular tea, but it had Fireball. It was sweet tea. There you go. Ooh, yeah, look at that.
Sparkling apple cider sangria. And you also had a block up pop you there. No, thank you. You can turn that pumpkin pie martini back around. I am over the calling something that's a cocktail a martini thing.
Yeah.
Martinis are clear. They're either made with gin or vodka, and that's it.
Unless they're dirty. Right,
but that's still an element of it.
Right.
Campfire mules.
You got to blow that one out before you drink it. You'll burn your nose hairs.
Yeah. I love a Moscow mule, which is what that was based on, which has nothing to do with Russia.
Yeah.
So you political people that boycott stuff, you're too stupid to be boycotting anything. If you're boycotting a Moscow mule because you don't like Russia, it has nothing to do with Russia. Oh, well,
yeah, the Black Russian rock tip,
yeah. But a Black Russian is just a White Russian without the milk.
Yeah. But no, the Fireball in the sweet tea just blew me away. I said, wow, this is actually pretty dang good. But it's also kind of wet and cold outside too.
An interesting thing about the history of sweet tea in America was invented in South Carolina, and it was originally a cocktail. It was not iced tea as we know it. It was iced tea with some kind of liquor in it. That is how iced tea originally began in America, like I say, in the Carolinas, and then eventually evolved into a soft drink that we know and love now as Alabama table wine.
Yeah. House wine of the South.
There you go. Yeah.
House wine of the South.
If Little Debbie were a drink.
There you go.
So you're gonna have a bonfire soon?
Maybe not a bonfire, but
you can light a match.
Set the neighborhood on fire.
You go, Stu. Yeah, that's for you.
No. Pumpkin spice White Russian. Yeah. I'd like to kick the person that came up in the shin.
Just take the pumpkin spice out. White Russian.
This is White Russian.
That's interesting.
I had a version of a.
Now that was interesting. Folks, if you don't know, we're looking at Steve's pulling up.
Yeah, he's on delish.com.
Yeah. Good read. Hey, 251-343-0106 is Callahan's Irish Social Club text and call in line. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some more drinking.
Okay.
Booze Hound. Perfect.
Somebody's bringing something in.
FM Talk 1065, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority, and Dr. Bill Williams.
The Gulf Coast can expect sunny skies
outside
today with temperatures in the upper 80s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and pleasant, with low temperatures in the upper 60s.
Hey, Phil.
For Monday, sunny.
We got a gentleman outside.
This is
What?
meteorologist
You
Dr. Bill
check and see what that gentleman might want.
1065.
FM Talk 1065,
Please
the
and thank
Gulf
you.
Coast Weather Authority.
Frozen pumpkin spice latte. Non-alcoholic mule wine, mulled wine.
Business and making
Mulled.
plans for our next event.
Okay, I'm always interested. What's up
Washington
next?
apple
October
shot.
11th, 12th, and 13th, we're having a barbecue
There's an Auburn
competition
guy right here,
along with
Eric
the
Gray, he's
SCSD
Auburn guy,
competition to
graduated
raise
from
money
Auburn.
for our friends at the partners.
Bourbon
This is
and
our
sweet
chance to
tea
give
is
back. So right now, we're asking
Southern
folks to be a
Baptist.
part of the event
Called
by
Southern
visiting our
Baptist.
website at smokeonthefarm.org.
That's
and
worth
sign up
mentioning
either
on-
as an influencer of Smoke on the Farm. or
That's
enter
worth
as a
mentioning
team
on the
for
air. Let's see if we can get them phone calls going.
We're also looking for vendors. Tickets are available at our website at smokeonthefarm.org.
Okay, so there's two parts going on here. First of all, you're giving the call out to these folks like you that are like pro in the cooking, the barbecue teams out there. But then those of us that like to be connoisseurs of this and come eat it, we get to come too.
Yeah, so we'll have a People's Choice Awards for this. There'll be live
Apple
music.
cider.
It's like
What is
Memphis.
that? Margarita?
Okay, except it's right here at home.
That's correct.
Just like
One of our regular callers,
Appreciate
Gene
what's on the
Everett,
website,
he said he was going to bring this for
Oh,
Bill
it's on
Fest for
display.
the
Oh, wow.
He'll just be able to pick up whenever he comes to town.
Oh, okay.
Ice cream,
He's gonna drop it by the station.
choose from carrot cake, German chocolate cake, pumpkin spice, and caramel apple pie.
Oh.
Before the game, cake
So
night,
whenever
just because
Bill can
anytime
come
is a
by
good time
Mobile
for
to get
Cammy's
it.
Old Dutch ice cream. Visit Mobile's
Yeah,
Old Dutch Ice
sure,
Cream
sure.
Shop, Cammy's Old Dutch in the Florida Street,
It's from-
Cream Green,
it's from a
43
farm.
Mill Road, and Fairhope's newest ice cream shop, Cammy's
Yeah.
Old 3,
Where the
9535 County
food?
Road 24.
Yeah, it's
Learn and
Robin's
explore.
Garage jam.
Oh, I love garage, damn
The
dad.
guy that's the lead singer, Ken Marino's
Uh-huh.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The redhead behind them that plays cello from time to time is a director. They're all Hollywood.
Remember I told you, Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah. It's, yeah, when they did
Garage Band Dad.
scenes from an Italian restaurant,
Yeah, I love that song.
he just walks in, plays the accordion and leaves. Because they started, going, man, I wish we had somebody to play the accordion thing. The drummer goes, I think I know somebody. Weird Al comes in and leaves, and they said, I didn't know you could get Weird Al. I goes, it's not my fault. I didn't even know Weird Al was around.
What is Aperol?
Who?
It's talk about
Cranberry Aperol Spritz. I guess we're talking about apple.
Ask the Sheriff every second Tuesday of the month on midday.
Well, it has a highlight on Aperol.
Well, I know that's two.
Yeah, I've never
But
heard
then
of
this
it.
goes to classic Aperol.
Michael Stew on FM Talk 106.5.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is your favorite type of cocktail?
Oh, whiskey on the rocks.
Okay.
But
But it's
like the mob hatton and squid ink.
okay.
That's really which
That's
has actual squid ink. I like most of squid ink's cocktails. I'm glad there's been a resurgence in cocktails
Yeah.
because it is a creative way
Mhm.
to have a libation that isn't just, a bunch of simple syrup, a bunch of fruit juice, and a
Yeah.
bunch of clear liquor,
Mhm.
which, I mean, a daiquiri's fine, a margarita's fine,
Mhm.
but everything beyond that is just riffing on a daiquiri or margarita.
And you mentioned Squid Ink, and then right across the street from there
Haberdasher.
is Haberdasher, and then down at the other end you got Post.
Yeah, and I haven't been to Post yet.
Great cocktail selection, very knowledgeable young staff there,
Mhm.
and particularly Haberdasher with their mixologists there.
Right.
And man, I tell you, when I get in the mood and I want to do that, those are the three places I would go to. If there are any others, I really don't know.
Yeah. Now, a few years ago, as you know, I went to Doe's Eat Place, the one in Biloxi,
Mhm.
and I was looking at the cocktail menu. I was going to get a glass of really expensive scotch, but I looked at the cocktail menu, and I remembered the words of Anthony Bourdain, who was talking about seizing life and,
Mhm.
get the filet mignon.
Yeah.
Get the lobster. And he said, get the Negroni. And they had a Negroni on the menu, so I got the Negroni, which I think is a classic cocktail that's similar to a martini, but it had some bubbles and stuff in it. It was terrific.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he said, get the Negroni, and I'm glad I got the Negroni.
What'd you compare that to?
A Negroni. I don't know. It's 2 years now, Mike.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'll look up and see exactly what a Negroni is.
I've kind of turned into a tequila guy,
Mm-hmm.
and can't stand the everyday stuff that people know and
Mhm.
go crazy over that's been over marketed. I want the good stuff, and I savor it slowly. I don't
Yeah,
chug it.
just like you do whiskey.
Yeah, I can get some over ice and then sip on it for an hour. You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here's the Negroni. It's a very simple recipe. Sweet vermouth, the red one,
Mm-hmm.
gin, and Campari, equal parts of each.
Okay.
So that is a Negroni, and it was absolutely
So
delicious.
12 ounces of one.
Yeah, well, if you're making a double. And, so you were
that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
it was very good. Went well with the steak, which is probably why they had it on the menu at a steakhouse.
Right. I hopefully one day we'll get up to Evergreen, Mississippi. Greenville, Mississippi.
Yeah, it's green.
And yeah,
And go to the original Doe's.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to make that trip too.
Folks, the Mississippi Delta is just fabulous. And now
Historically,
and
it's kind of boring to look at.
they got the Blues Trail,
Yeah,
and they got the Tamale Trail.
yep.
And
And a lot of good barbecue.
I have a friend, her and her husband, significant other, they started up there around Memphis, and I think they took like 2 weeks doing the Blues Trail until they got to Clarksville, but they worked their way on down. But the restaurants they went to, it's just, there's so many restaurants up there, because I don't know if they got the Doe's. I didn't see anything post on it. Interesting history about Doe's, and we'll talk about it one day.
Yeah.
But
Well, we have talked
What
about
is
it
that?
too.
What is that?
Doe's is like a house.
Yeah, it was
Somebody
like a
turned to it.
grocery store with a kitchen in the back,
Oh, okay.
and they started frying steaks in iron skillets
Mhm.
on the stovetop.
Okay.
And they have a number of them now, like the one in Biloxi, but it doesn't look like a kitchen in the back of a grocery store. It's a high-end steak restaurant.
They
I don't know if that was a drink or if it.
no Doe's
Called
Eats.
Doe's Eat Place.
Yeah. And it's James Beard Award winner.
I got you.
Best, and it's voted best steak in America a couple times. And they're also known for their butterfly fried shrimp.
And these are in the Delta.
Yeah, and like I said, there's one in Biloxi at the at Margaritaville, which is my favorite resort because there's no casino.
Yeah.
Are they going to add one?
Oh, they're working on it.
Yeah, I think the whole
They do.
point of that was to not have a casino, to be a family-friendly option.
Family-friendly.
They have the largest arcade I've ever seen in my life, 2 floors, each one of them about the size of a football field.
Wow.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't play anything because there were a lot of kids and I didn't want to get in their way. And I was there to eat steak, drink
Knock some
alcohol,
kids-
and go to
Knock some
sleep.
kids over.
Yeah.
He's the uncle that, at the football game.
Picking a fight with the referee.
Knocking burying a few kids in the wallering in the plastic balls.
Right.
Skeet.
Hey kids, I tossed a snake in there. Y'all have fun.
All I can think is the movie Dodgeball, whatever that was.
If you dodge a monkey wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Oh man.
I loved it. I wonder if they got adult dodgeball.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be
Probably
fun.
since that movie. Anyway.
That'd be fun. I was watching a song show. It's a biography show about these people trying to get their sommelier and their master sommelier, and they were describing noses and aromas and taste and sense things of wine, and they were sitting around a table just talking, and they said, "Have you ever like smelt your old aunt's closet or
mothballs?"
Right, mothballs
And
cedar chips.
And somebody said water hose is like cutting a water hose with a blade, and that scent. I'm thinking, who sits around? But then one of them said, it's like that smell when that dodgeball hits you in the face. You can smell that rubber. And a lot of Italian wine has a tarry asphalt scent and taste to it. And then the most popular one, it took me a year and a half to find this one out. Pinotage from South Africa. We were saying, what is that taste? What is that flavor? A doctor can nail it. Our nurse can nail it. It's Band-Aid. It smells just the old Johnson Johnson Band-Aid when you're a kid and you're pulling it off with your teeth, trying to take it off your skin.
Adhesive, yeah.
Yeah, and it's that adhesive, rubbery adhesive smell and taste. And I try not, when I was doing courses and classes on wine, I try not to, I'd save that one for last.
Right.
And when we got to it, I said, all right, who knows what this flavor is? And then when I said Band-Aid, they go, oh my God, that's it. And then some would continue to drink it.
Adhesive was made in the same area of just a thought. I mean, we don't think about, like, gum trees, things like that. Those things, they have a regionality.
And this is gonna be silly, but I've been bucked off a horse, and when I was coming down, I face planted into the saddle.
Oh.
And the saddle, you could tell, been ridden. People have been riding. It's a little dusty, and it was, all kind of odors on it. And when my face hit it, I could still, when I taste certain wines, I can smell that and taste that experience. Sometimes it's about life's experience.
Wow, look at that. It's 11:40.
So let's take a moment here, get a little serious. And we just recently had Hurricane Helene move through the Panhandle of Florida, up through Georgia's doing a lot of devastation in East Tennessee, the Pigeon Forge area,
Asheville. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know the Smoky Mountains are a rainforest. And a lot of people don't think of that because they think of rainforest, they think tropical. Well, that's a tropical rainforest.
Yeah.
The Appalachians are a mountainous rainforest. So this much rain coming in there, it's really, I've seen some video of towns that have just been completely washed away.
Yeah.
And one of the best bacons in the world comes from that area, Benton Farms. And I'm certainly hoping that the Benton's bacon is okay.
Yeah.
That was the stuff we used to get at Little House Midtown that FedEx would deliver. We couldn't get it from a distributor. And as soon as the box came into the building, the entire restaurant smelled like a barbecue place. Just the most unbelievable bacon. That's what Donald Link uses at Cochon.
Oh, really?
In New Orleans. His Benton's bacon.
Wow.
And it is just fabulous. So I'm hoping everyone in that area is okay and can recover and everything. I know there was some death involved with this one. That's always sad. But
yeah,
I hope those that were left behind can rebuild quickly and get back in.
I was on my way here. I saw those big trucks that's got the big trailer in the back, and then they're pulling another one. They're deep and they're wide. They're big. There's two of them headed that way.
Yeah. So the reason I bring it up is if you want to donate to help out with the recovery effort, it may make some people upset, but do not put that money with the Red Cross. Their help is usually not that great compared to how much money they bring in. Look for smaller groups, and what I would like to recommend is Operation Barbecue Relief.
Yeah.
They go all over the country to disasters like this. They are world-class championship barbecuers who donate their product and their time to feed people incredible barbecue at one of the worst times of their life.
Absolutely.
And I'll try and get a link up later on our Facebook page, but just type in Operation Barbecue Relief. They're not hard to find.
And another thing too, do some research on who you donate your money to.
If you've got a local church that's putting together a thing, that's a great way to do that.
From the
during
food
Katrina,
banks.
I was in Florida at Crestview, and local churches in Crestview were taking donations and trucking them to Mississippi to help out with the recovery there.
And I'll tell you what people don't think about is socks. Just socks. Warm socks.
Dry, clean
socks.
But not blankets. Which my father had told me after Katrina, or not Katrina, Camille, that was what the Red Cross brought to August in Biloxi, Mississippi, was blankets.
So
he said, so now there were 5,000 wool blankets sitting around soaking up water and mud.
By the way, that is operationalbbqrelief.org.
There you go. It's a .org.
Yes,
Operation
yeah.
Barbecue Relief. They were at World Food Championships just educating people to what they do, and we interviewed them. So that would be my suggestion.
251-343-0106, the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and texting line. When we come back,
No words.
We're going to carry on some more of this conversation.
Yeah.
For more than 50 years, Mobile Bay Magazine has showcased the
I'll put that in with the podcast.
both sides of Mobile Bay. Each month's issue is filled with our unique.
Anyway, the Aperol
and stunning
is, I found it here, Aperol Spritz combines Aperol Prosecco
and faces and
and soda water to make a signature cocktail. So that's Aperol, like Fernet and Campari. Aperol is a brand of Amaro. Amaro, A-M-A-R-O, Amaro, an Italian bittersweet liquor. Used as an
That's why you need to call
herbal
the National Recovery Center sooner.
bright red
It's a digestive
orange
enzyme.
liqueur that is made of citrusy herbal ingredients that has distinct taste
You
might
need to
remind
want to
you
stop
of
the downward out of control spiral you've been on. You
I
need to
love
make
these
a
like
conscious
Thailand
effort
donuts.
and
Originally
take
from
control.
Hungary, Slovakia,
Our
and
programs are designed to
Czechia.
provide you with the
Or
care and
just skip all
support
that and
you
say
need.
Old
Every person
Czechoslovakia.
is treated with a unique treatment plan
Oh, the
designed
Netherlands and
specifically
France.
for you, regardless of what stage of addiction you're in.
But
Chimney
Don't
Rock,
let the pain of
she's
addiction
just
ruin
gone.
your
I mean,
life.
it's amazing.
Call
There's so many of these little,
800-950-0248.
that swath.
That's
It's like Bill was talking about this morning, hit the basically it's mountains, then water just 18 inches just starts coming in.
We weren't sure adoption would happen.
A friend of mine
first,
lives in
but
Asheville.
when it did,
Yeah.
it
Asheville's
happened
terrible
threefold.
there.
Yeah,
Mary
Ashland's a
and her
huge
husband,
draft
three
food
children.
city. One of the
Savannah
best.
even got
Well, it's Asheville,
Little
this
did
is the
they
time,
know
all that
that
area
their
up to
house
Fort, all
would
that,
become the
they were
center
getting ready
forever home.
for Thanksgiving
We
and
had to help
Christmas
them
with the
adjust to the idea
decoration
that they
up
wouldn't
there.
have to
And I'm
leave.
sure Helena, Georgia
Children
got
in
it.
foster care
Yep,
have
they have
lived
it.
and survived so much. But we
Savannah
can
even got
help
a
them
major
process
rip
their
through.
trauma.
Now, if there's any
And now to hear
reverse
children
hikers
say
on the
that
AT,
they know
it's
they
usually
have
the
a
AT
mother and
hikers
father
start in
who
late
take
March
care of us, teach us,
or
and
early
love us,
April, trying to
means
avoid the snow. You
everything.
want to get done
The
before
Dave
the snow.
Thomas Foundation for
But to do
Adoption
that, a lot
is
of people will
committed
start
to
in
finding
Maine and go
safe,
back
permanent
Right.
homes
and have
for
them
the
in the
longest
Smokies
waiting
right about
children
now.
in foster
So
care.
I'm hoping they
I
got
not
off
only
the
love
train.
these kids, I am just so proud
Not
of them.
nearly as many. It's like
You can
3,000
help.
people a
Visit
year usually do the Appalachian Trail,
DaveThomasFoundation.org.
and maybe
Hi, this is
100,
Gordon Deal. Join
150
me
do it.
weekdays for This Morning
Oh, we got-
America's First News. Hear the
we got
stories you'll be talking about.
4
and
systems in
searching
the
for
Atlantic,
all
and we
day.
got one
As we go
in
beyond the
the
headlines
Caribbean.
and above the
Most
chatter.
of those
Your
Atlantic
first look
storms
at
will
breaking
stay in.
news,
Yeah, they'll
money,
go north.
Washington politics, technology, entertainment,
And it's
entrepreneurship,
funny, they go into
sports.
colder
We
water.
explain why
When
stories
they
matter.
do that,
That's
they
why
keep
we
going
are
up
referred to
into
as
the
the
colder,
most
where the water's
important and
colder.
relevant radio program.
I don't
Join us
understand that.
weekdays for
The,
This
So
Morning
it's like
America's
with hot air
First
and cold
News.
air.
To get on the line,
Line.
343-0106. Now back to Mike Estate.
Hearing.
Hey,
Hey.
we want to thank a few people. We want to thank Bob's Downtown Diner on the corner of Fat and Happy, which is North Jackson and St. Francis.
They will tote you some grub.
They'll bring it to you. And I asked Tony, I said, how about if you will you come pick me up one morning, take me there for breakfast, and take me back home? I said, sure. So anyway, privileges of living downtown. And we want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Ask for it by name. If your store doesn't have it, ask for it. They'll get it for you.
Or change stores.
Or change. There's that.
Yep.
And then we want to thank Butch Cassidy's over there on Florida Street in the heart of Flochelle, Mayor Royce Seaver.
Yep.
The mayor of Flochelle. So anyway, going back to what we were saying.
Which
Making donations.
Yeah.
Make the donation. Do your research and make sure. See, I'm hesitant. Even these people out on the corner, I got a feeling we're going to be popping up with a little yellow and orange vest on, standing on the corners, making up stuff. You know.
I don't ever donate to any of those. And
Yeah.
the reason for that is no one should be standing at a street corner taking donations for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not safe. And it's illegal in most of the city of Mobile.
Well, you can get a
But the
permit.
smaller towns, yeah.
You can get a permit, but used to, I would support the donuts. People selling donuts, I would do that. And in high school,
It was less about the charity and more about the donuts.
and the high school kids
Do a car wash.
boys go, yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
I tell you what we used to do at Mary G. Had a man, all we knew was Mr. Hutch Hutchinson. And he would volunteer his time. There was a lodge, F&AM, something, one of those.
Yeah.
Right around the corner from Mary Montgomery. And they had a huge pit in the back. And he would barbecue chicken, half chickens, whole chickens. And I went up one night and stayed out the whole night. About every hour, they're on these big, they look like a wire mesh table.
Yeah.
And they're about the size of a folding table. They'd be covered with chicken over the coals. And then you had one extra of those wire mesh things. And you would put it on the top of one, roll it over. Then the one you just got on top, you'd flip it to the next one and go all the way down this pit. And Mr. Hutch would do that for the band. He'd do it for the football team, ROTC, any organization that needed to raise money. Mr. Hutch would volunteer his time. And I think his kids graduated like from the very first class at Mary Montgomery. And here it was 20 years later, he's still volunteering. His kids are off other parts of the world doing great things. And Mary Montgomery actually has a award that they give out that's called the Hutch Award, that is for people who are civic minded and give back to their community. And I tell you right now, that's some of the best barbecue chicken.
I always love that kind of chicken. I always love when we would do it, Boy Scout troops, 28 over St. Luke's, would get there. Sometimes some of those barbecues start at night and stay there all night, fanning the flames to keep.
That's what I was one of the people that worked overnight. And my shift was done at 6 a.m.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do it now.
Yeah. About 4 or 5 o'clock, everybody went and got in their cars and went to sleep. And I was bound to determine I was making it.
Well, they kept us hydrated.
Well, we were high school kids.
Well, I was an adult.
Yeah, we were hydrated with water. But yeah, I remember Mr. Hutch's barbecue, and then you'd pick it up at Mary Montgomery's cafeteria, and there'd be baked beans, potato salad that some ladies associated would put together for us.
See, I love barbecue like that.
Yep.
And then they mop the barbecue sauce on, and then they adhere it to the chicken by keeping it over the heat.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go to a barbecue place and order that.
Right.
But I would do that, and I love it. Love the flavors. I love it caramelizing onto the chicken and adhere it. I love that, but I wouldn't dare go to a barbecue place and order it that way.
Yeah. Have you ever had any Famous Dave's barbecue?
I don't think so.
Owned down in the Midwest, one of the largest barbecue chains in the country. I got to try some in Lincoln, Nebraska. And Famous Dave's, they put just the thinnest glaze of barbecue on their ribs.
Really?
Of sauce. Put it back on the smoker so it's not slathered, but it's crispy when you bite into it. Perfectly done.
Yeah. All right, you say that. And Roy was talking on the other day about the mistake wings at Rich Cassie's. And that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, you're getting caramelization from the natural sugars that are in the butter and the hot sauce. And when you put them back in the fryer, it burns off the excess water, essentially, and you're left with the sugars that caramelize to the outside.
I had some the other day. I was at Butch Cassie and I ordered the mistake wings. And it is on the menu now, folks. But for the longest time, you had to know about it. If you knew, you knew.
Yeah,
and
but
you
then
order them.
Some jackwagon on the radio kept blasting about it every week, going, "Oh, don't tell Roy I told you." Roy hates it when I talk about it.
Well, it's on the menu now, so you can order away. And they are $1, I think $1 extra, something like that.
Sure. I don't handle the money.
It's extra effort. You gotta fry them, you gotta dip them, and then you gotta fry them again.
And it burns that oil up faster too, so he's got to replace the oil.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever had it was at Orleans. Here he comes again with more cocktails. Was
Butterbeer.
the Orleans Cafe that was on Schillinger's.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, this is really good.
Oh, I remember that place.
Yeah. And there was an Orleans, one was Orleans Cafe and the other one was Orleans something or else. But the one on University was the original. The one on Schillinger's was copying them.
Oh.
And they were doing terrible food. And people thought it was the same place. So the guy that owned Orleans Cafe on Airport bought the other one just so they wouldn't hurt his business at the original. He had to buy them out and fix the food. And I went to it after he had fixed the food. But the other people had totally ripped off his entire menu, his logo, the colors, everything. So people thought it was the same restaurant. So he made it the same restaurant.
Very good.
And I bet the buyout was something like, well, I could give you money for it now, or I could take you to court.
One of the two.
Yeah. So I think they took the money and ran.
I would.
Yeah.
First of all, I wouldn't have opened a place like that.
Why?
Drunken peanut butter cups.
Why?
I would try one.
Yeah. Just
Wow.
peanut
I
butter
could try
and nuts.
anything.
You
Once.
thought you had a headache this morning? Phew.
I didn't have a headache. I was just tired.
Oh, okay.
Sleep deprived.
Yeah.
I was too excited to go to bed last night.
Slurp deprived.
Too excited to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was good last night.
Okay.
Was good last night.
Yeah.
But
I kicked out a new short on Delta Safari.
Okay.
Premiered this morning. It's talking about the anniversary of the Sunset Limited.
Yes.
Because that was just last week, 31 years since that accident happened. So I did a little thing and put it on Delta Safari this morning. It's a short, so it's 1 minute long. But my best friend worked for Chickasaw Police. And when you work at Chickasaw, your actual job title is safety officer. You're a police officer, and with that comes mandatory membership as a volunteer fireman. So you're trained for both. So a public safety officer, that's what they call it. So he was out there in the middle of the night with the recovery. And to this day, it's the only part of his tenure as a police officer he doesn't like to talk about.
Yeah, I can imagine it was really bad.
And
I remember it well.
he will never ride a train.
Folks, get out there, support local, be local, buy local, and tip your servers well. And servers earn your tip. And the
Slurp local too.
It's Slurp local. Yeah. You got a little Slurp side of that. And if nothing else, provolone.
Provolone.